Hello, Jillian.
Hello, how are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, good.
Right. Okay. Right. So, Hari Om Tat Sat. Namaste, everyone. Welcome to the last day of our Diwali meditation and Satsang. We will begin our meditation. So, beginning by settling down in a comfortable meditative posture of your choice. If you're on a chair, placing your feet firmly on the ground. If you're sitting cross-legged on the floor, make sure that you've supported your back. We'll be meditating for about 15 minutes. Long spine, erect but not rigid. Shoulders relaxed. Chin parallel to the ground and then slowly dipping down slightly. Face soft, reflecting the smile in your heart. Palms either placed on your knees or in a mudra of your choice. Beginning the practice with 3 centering breaths. Deeply inhaling the positivity around us. Allowing it to fill our lungs, our space, our body, our mind. And as we exhale, allowing the positivity to flow out of us and into our surroundings. 2 more deep breaths. Before we begin our meditation, let's ask ourselves a few questions. Who am I? Who am I? What do I want? What do I really, really want? What is my purpose in life? How can I help? How can I serve? What am I grateful for today? What am I thankful for? Now take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, allow these questions and answers to lift up above you and float away into the universe, allowing the universe to work out the details for you. Now bring to mind your mantra, your Guru mantra if you've been initiated, or if you haven't been initiated, you can use the mantra Ham Sa today. Ham Sa. Mentally repeat the mantra silently, easily, and effortlessly. Soft like a dewdrop on a leaf. A little ripple on a still pond. Think the mantra easily and effortlessly. And if you find yourself getting distracted at any point in time, that's okay. The moment you become aware of it, gently bring your awareness back to the mantra. Continue meditating, and I'll watch the time and let you know when to come out of your meditation. Stop thinking the mantra and sit comfortably with your eyes closed. Gradually bring your awareness to your surroundings and your physical self in these surroundings. Tell yourself mentally that you are safely meditating in your space, in your chosen space. Begin with small movements of your fingers, your toes, your shoulders, your spine, your neck. Shift your face into a little smile. Then get your palms to heart center. Rub them, and when they're nice and warm, place them on your eyes and across your face, looking into your palms as you very gently open your eyes. Hari Om Tat Sat. Welcome back, and welcome to the very last day of our meditation and satsang. It's been a very beautiful 5 days for me personally. Being a part of this practice in the morning and in the evening, and have the entire day in the middle, sandwiched between these two practices. A practice that I start just after I wake up, and a practice that I end just before I go to bed. And my entire day in the middle has been extremely beautiful as an experience. And I'd like to thank you all for that, for facilitating that for me. But what I'd like to speak about today is an extension of what we spoke about yesterday. We spoke about desires, and we spoke a little bit about purpose. And I remembered, or I realized that there was one story around Lakshmi Puja that I didn't tell you. On Lakshmi Puja Day, on the third day of Diwali, so you see all the gods and goddesses, the deities in the Hindu pantheon, usually have what we call as a vahana, or a vehicle with which they move. If you look at Sri Ganpati ji, or Ganesha, Lord Ganesha, he's got his little mouse or a rat. Okay, I don't really know how it works, but that is what it is. They have a little animal that's their partner, or their sidekick, or their vehicle for everything. Ma Lakshmi, so Parvati, as you know, if you think of when we think of Navratri also, all the different goddesses that we spoke, all the different forms, all of them come in different ways. Some of them ride a lion, some of them ride, they are on a peacock, some of them they come with a buffalo, buffalo, cow sometimes. Okay, but on Diwali day, on the day of Diwali, Ma Lakshmi is usually shown as flying on an owl. Okay, it's let me see if I can show you that image. Do I have it? Hang on a minute. Okay, 1 second. Yeah, that's the one. Okay, can you Are you able to see that?
Not yet because it says you've started screen sharing, but I just see like a black screen. Can see
Okay,
it.
you can see it now?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the beautiful Mahalakshmi with her Vahana, the owl. Okay, now the interesting thing about Mahalakshmi and this Vahana around Deepavali and on the day of the Diwali itself is that there are two who come together. There is Mahalakshmi with yes, Divya, it is a beautiful one. So there is Ma Lakshmi who comes with her owl, and there is also Ma Alakshmi who comes with her owl. Okay. Now we are used to seeing, or we are used to understanding that during Diwali, Ma Lakshmi comes in with abundance. Okay. But, like how we have our shadow selves, hmm? Ma Lakshmi also has the other side, which is called Alakshmi. Okay, which both of them bring in abundance. Okay, but the energy of Lakshmi and Alakshmi are what manifest in us based on our choices and based on what we do with the abundance that we receive. Okay, so like you said, ask and you shall receive. It's true. You ask for whatever you want and you will receive it from Malakshmi because she's going to give it to you. Now, when in most cultures, when we see an owl, what do we think of? What are the qualities we think of an owl? Even in Winnie the Pooh series, the owl is the source of wisdom, right? He's usually considered, yes, wisdom. There's knowledge, but at the same time, there is, you have wisdom, foresight, understanding, knowledge, and all of that. But there is also the other side, which makes us feel fear and darkness and death, and sometimes, the evil side of things. So all of that is also there. Now, what happens is, depending on the intention with which you ask and what you do with the gifts that you receive from Lakshmi, if you use them entirely for yourself and not give them away, remember we've spoken about this when we spoke about Mahalakshmi as well, that the energy of Mahalakshmi and Mahalakshmi is always that when you receive something, you give it freely. If you hoard it and you keep it to yourself, that means you're being contrary to the energy of Lakshmi, which is giving. And now you're holding it on. So these two, Lakshmi and Alakshmi, have their vahanas. One is Uluka and one is Pechaka. Uluka is the energy of the owl who's with Alakshmi. Okay. So if you hold on to uh, the gifts that you receive from Lakshmi, then the energy of Alakshmi through the energy of Uluka brings in a lot of negativity and pain for you. Okay. Whereas when you receive the gifts of Lakshmi and realize that everything that I have is what I have received from the goddess, so everything that I have is something that I can give. So you keep emptying your cup. Then the energy of Lakshmi with Pechaka, with the energy of Pechaka, gives you the gifts of wisdom and knowledge and foresight and all of those positive qualities of the owl. So it's not just the myth that people say, oh, at when it's Amavasya, then Lakshmi is going to come flying into our homes on an owl. It's not just the owl. We have to understand that the owl and Lakshmi, just like a mother, would teach us either by giving abundantly or through a little rap on your wrist and say, hey, not that way. Okay. So Lakshmi comes to us in both these ways. And her Vahana also has the same qualities. But they are not that Alakshmi and Uluka are not the malevolent sides of Mahalakshmi. They aren't. They aren't. They are purely there to teach us that whatever you do, whatever choice you make, will have a consequence, and they are here to see and guide you and nudge you and say, okay, this is what you're going to do, then this is the consequence that you'll get. This is the prasad that you'll get. Prasad is not all the good things. Prasad is just a consequence of your, it's like your karma phala. Okay, karma is action, phala is fruit. So it's like the fruit of your action. The fruit of your action is neither good nor bad. It just is. It just is the consequence of what you've done. But once you receive that consequence, do you learn from it or do you continue? So wisdom comes either way. So both Lakshmi and Alakshmi, Uluka and Pechaka, give you the abundance in terms of spiritual growth. Okay. So I remember the story when I was thinking that, we're speaking about our purpose. We're speaking about the importance of making those purposeful actions in our life to make our life more meaningful, to make the actions, to make the limited time that we have very meaningful, that it adds to our development, it adds to our evolution. And since this is the Deepawali Satsang, Deepawali meditation, it makes sense that the main goddess of Deepawali, who's supposed to bring us all the wealth and the abundance, should be understood as not just the wealth and abundance materialistically, but also on the spiritual front of things. So that was the story of Lakshmi and Uluka, which really highlights the importance of us as sadhakas to live by example. Like sometimes we feel that many of us, I mean, there are times when I wake up in the morning and I say, am I doing this for me or am I doing this for anyone else? Right? Most of the times we think, and even I think, most of the times I think, I'm doing it for me. I'm doing I'm doing it because I feel that this is the right way, and I don't really know how things influence others, right? But over the years, I have had the opportunity to have people write to me, for people to connect with me, even if, like, for example, we're all here on this in the satsang, and many of us were not going to share necessarily. But sometimes those people who don't share, they're the ones who write back later and they say, Lavina, when you said this, and I didn't even think. And likewise, each of us, when we say something and we do something and we don't think, we do have to realize that our actions do create an impact on people around us. So our dharma, our purpose, our swadharma, the choice of what we do with the gifts that we have, and gifts, like for example, in this moment, a gift that I'm sharing is the gift of experience, is the gift of the wisdom that I have received from some of the teachers, knowledge that I have received from my teachers, knowledge and wisdom that I have received from life, from the experience, from the divine goddess. And that is something I have, and that is what I share. That's a gift that I have, and that's the abundance that I have that I'm sharing. I don't know qualitatively and quantitatively how it impacts you or anyone else who might be watching this beyond the live, right? But the responsibility to choose exactly how I say things, what I say, because what we do has an impact, is part of our swadharma. And that is important. That is important for all of us to know, whether we are teachers or not. We don't have to be a teacher to create an impact. We don't have to have a particular title to create an impact. There was Robin Sharma's book, right? Leader without a title. And that was just that. It was just his business card, I think, said that he was a human, right? And in our human form, there is so much that we can do. Now, what is the purpose of spirituality then? What is the purpose of spirituality? The purpose of spirituality eventually is moksha, eventually is self-realization, but we get there only when we take people along by just touching them. Not that way, not that touch, okay? But the impact, the impact that we create. And that is important. When we realize that no matter how, so some of us are very quiet, some of us talk a lot, some of us joke, our personalities are very different, but every single one of us does reach out and impact someone else. very stuck with the word touch today, but we impact. And it's important. It's so important because impact, it is what drives our swadharma. And another thing to remember in swadharma is that, our when we are born, we have a large goal that is supposed to be something we sometimes, most of us forget, right? When we're born, we forget what is it that we're supposed to do in this lifetime. And we have a lifetime. Some of us have a short lifetime, some of us have a very long lifetime, so we don't know when that ends, but we say, I'd like to do all of this. But from the time you're born till the end of your lifetime, at every single point, we have tiny swadharmas, tiny life purposes that we meet, that we might think of something. And you might have, if you are on the road sometimes and someone was being a little absent-minded for whatever reason, and they were about to cross the road where a car or a vehicle was coming by, and you just stopped that person. You just put your hand out and you held that person back. You saved someone's life, and you must have forgotten about it after some time. Say, hey, what are you doing? Pay attention. Don't look at your phone when you're crossing the road. But you saved that person's life. You walked away from it, and in about 10 minutes, you've forgotten about it. But that was a purpose of your life for that moment. And then you do something else, and then you do something else, right? That time when you found a bird with a broken wing, and you took care of that bird, and you nursed it back to health. That was a purpose that you met. That was a swadharmic action that you took, and you fulfilled that. For you to listen to what's going on here, and something in your mind gets triggered saying, yeah, I did this, or, I'd like to do something like this. Spending some time with someone who might be alone, right? That might be a stranger, that might be someone who you know. That is a purpose that only you could have fulfilled. And that is divine purpose. So all of these are swadharmic actions. And when we look back to see that we do all of these things, we realize that we are good people. And we need to recognize that we are good people in the process of becoming better people, right? Hopefully that we'll be the best, but it's not a competition. Just bettering ourselves every day is that daily step to fulfill swadharma, to fulfill your own spiritual aspirations, and doing them consciously, doing them mindfully. So on that note, I'd like to end this entire Deepawali meditation and satsang series that we've had for all these days with heartfelt wishes to all of you. Uh, you've been my friends, you've been my students, you've been people who we've only been together on social media, and now I've seen you. I wish all of you lots of fulfillment on your spiritual path, a lot of growth in your spiritual path, um, the opportunity to reflect, the opportunity to contemplate, the gift of contemplation, which which is lacking in the world right now. People don't pause and think. So I wish that for all of you. And I know that you will receive it because I asked, and when we ask, we receive it. So thank you very much, all of you. May you all have a lot of happiness, good health, joy, peace in your lives, and stay connected. Let me know if I could be of any help. I will be sending out a message before this week ends about the Sankalpa program and two other programs that I've also finalized. And that's it from me. If there's anything that you'd like to ask, anything that you'd like to share before we close and we're done and dusted, then the mic's all yours.
Thank you, Lavina. That was beautiful. I really enjoyed it, and learning all the different ways different people in India celebrate Diwali, like different from my tradition, was very beautiful. Um, yeah, and it was nice to meditate with you and the group. So thank you so much. Happy Diwali.
Thank you, Divya. Happy Diwali. And yeah, and I hope I get to speak with you or, on the phone or something before you leave. And at least I'll get to speak to someone from the international community who is on my time zone.
Yeah, I'll give you a call.
Yeah, sure. Right. Anyone? We've got 2 minutes for it to be 5 on my clock. If we don't have anything, then thank you. Thank you very much. And we can say goodbye. Good night, good morning. Have a wonderful day where you are. Lots of love from my dogs haven't barked. My dog's feeling better. Pixie is well. Thank you to all of you who had sent me lots of good wishes for her. She's fine. Uh, my son's tournament is at a pause, so you don't hear a lot of mumbling in the background. He does that only for my paid sessions. So, all right. Anyway, Hari Om Tat Sat. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Best Diwali present ever. Bye.
Bye. See you all. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you, Mandy. Thank you, Tara, Jillian. Thank you.
Love you.
Love you too. Hari Om Tat Sat.